Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! October is such an exciting time for all Descendants and Zombies fans, especially fans of zombies who are huge fans of Freya Skye. It was such an honor for me earlier this afternoon seeing all the Halloween decor on display in these stores in the mall. Everybody is so excited about Halloween, and actually there's a Halloween store literally 5 minutes out the road from me. It's called Spirit Halloween, and they have all these Halloween costumes and Halloween decor on display. The grand opening was a couple of weeks ago, and they've been doing tremendous business. But I really believe that Halloween is a special time for Descendants and Zombies fans. Everybody binge watches the entire zombie series and the entire Descendants series. I love when they do it around New Year's Eve too. It's really cool. Seeing the passion on display for these stars that you guys have had for forever and always, undoubtedly they will hold a special place in all of your hearts, which is why I made the decision a few days ago that I was going to get behind Freya Skye for you guys and lend my magic to her career. And what I mean by lend my magic to her career is I'm going to push her to the point where she becomes a superstar and a megastar overnight, because that's what you guys deserve and that's what you guys want to see happen. She's popular, demanded by a lot of Descendants and Zombies fans. She's in popular demand, and she will forever and always hold a special place in my heart, and I would like for her to know that, because I think that there are a lot of people out there that will choose to criticize Freya Skye, but these music videos I've been watching with thousands of views on Vivo, putting it up there in the numbers for Freya Skye, she's putting up a lot of impressive numbers for fans of Descendants and Zombies, and I really give her a tremendous amount of credit and want to show her the respect she deserves, and the best way to do that is by creating a lot of Freya Skye videos on this YouTube channel. And October is certainly going to be a big month for all Freya Skye fans, because of course Freya Skye's birthday will be happening on October 17th. That was what is going down on this YouTube channel. There were a lot of videos on the countdown, the road to Freya Skye's birthday, and I think that it's going to be a special time for all fans of her, because she's going to be turning sweet 16. I remember when I turned 16, I think I got Metal Gear Solid 2 on PlayStation 2, and at that time in my life, I thought I had the world. When you had the latest video game that dropped on PlayStation 2 3 weeks before your birthday, it was kind of cool. And I remember getting Metal Gear Solid 2 on my 16th birthday, but I'm sure Freya Skye's birthday is going to be celebrated in a big way, a lot bigger than my 16th birthday was. And the reason why I was out to the mall earlier today was not just to check out the Halloween decor. My friend from Ukraine, who I talk about a lot on this show, he had an emotional breakdown because he spent over $700 on an Apple Watch. And you haven't lived until you watch your friend from Ukraine break down and spend over $700 on an Apple Watch that he doesn't even understand how to work. Hopefully he's going to get the thing working, but I helped him out with that. We bought it from Best Buy, and you haven't lived until you see your friend from Ukraine break down after spending $700 on an Apple Watch. It was kind of a cool experience, and one that I wish I could go back in time and relive. Kind of like how Kylie Control wants to go back in the 1990s and relive through the 1990s. Her song 99 was a huge implication of how much passion she shares with people who lived in the 1990s. Now, fortunately enough for this guy, I grew up in the 1990s. I was a millennial, so I grew up from 1986 to the year 2000. And I saw the rise in popular icons like the Backstreet Boys going on to become the most revered and most popular boy band in the history of boy bands, including NSYNC. I saw the rise in popularity of Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and how Eminem was the best rapper in the world. You hadn't lived until you had sold as many records and albums as what Eminem did, and he's one of the most revered artists of all time. But you really had to go back in the 1990s to really have a greater appreciation for Eminem and what he really, brought to the music scene, because he really changed it unquestionably. I saw the rise in popularity of Drake, the most popular rapper in the world, one of Kylie Control's favorite artists of all time. She loves her Drake, and she loves her LA merchandise too. That's one thing I noticed about Kylie Control. She's very passionate about I Love LA merchandise, and I support that. I think that's really cool. I think that's really sweet how she shares in her lifetime experiences with each and every one of you through her vlogs on YouTube. I just wish her management company was more lenient, allowing her to put herself out there more in a way that she wants to put herself out there and how she wants to be represented, because it's all about how the label wants you to perceive yourself, what you can say, what you can't say, which is why I wish I was the manager of this Descendants project, because if I was the manager of the Descendants project, the first thing I would do is I would sign a document that would allow them more freedom, and that would include creative energy. That would include being a part of this experience the way they wanted to be a part of this experience, more so than what Disney wanted them to be a part. If I become president of the United States, I give you my word, I will be a president that Kylie Cantrell can be proud of, and I will send a personal bouquet of flowers to Kylie Cantrell to invite her to perform on the night of my inauguration as President of the United States. That's one thing that's going to go down and have to happen, because I was a huge fan of Descendants of Zombies, and I would love for them to be part of my inauguration if I ever became President of the United States. The thing about Kylie Cantrell's political point of view being brought into the conversation, I think that was completely unnecessary, and that was a way for a lot of people to find something to criticize about Kylie Cantrell, because when you really think about it, what is there to criticize about Kylie Cantrell? She's so kind, she's so sweet, she's so genuine, and I think the genuine personality of Kylie Cantrell has forever and always been a quality that I give her a profound amount of credit and respect for having, because she shows that respect to each and every one of you, and I feel that the respect coming from all of us should be mutual towards Kylie Cantrell. Now, I know there are people out there that don't really approve of what Kylie Cantrell is doing because of her success, and I know it has a lot to do with profound jealousy that will forever and always exist. I wish there was a magic spell that I could use, dip an apple into a cauldron, and have these critics take a bite of it to fall into a deep sleep, like how Sleeping Beauty pricked her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fell into a deep sleep on the night of her 16th birthday. I will never forget that fairy tale and how it was portrayed by Disney, and how Disney really brought it to life, which is why I had a greater appreciation going in to the Descendants franchise for the emphasis on these fairy tale characters, because I don't know about you guys, but I really do love fairy tale characters. And I think that because of my love for fairy tale characters, that had a lot to do with why I fell in love with the Descendants franchise in particular, because they brought these characters to life, the daughters and the sons of all these infamous Disney villains and heroes, to life in a way that no other franchise had ever put exemplification on them. And I think that's exactly what Disney had been waiting on for forever, was a franchise to really capitalize on opportunities. And I know Disney has forever and always been about capitalism, so whatever they could put the Descendants logo on to sell, they did, from posters to merchandise. I understand that, and I get that about the Descendants franchise more than probably anybody on YouTube. But I think that what we have to understand is there is a greater appreciation for these stars, and it has a lot to do with how they really put themselves out there in a way that no other stars have ever put themselves out there before. I mean, question for all you guys, did we ever see the Hannah Montana stars put themselves out there in a way that the stars of Descendants and Zombies ever did? No, we really didn't, because it was all about how Disney wanted to advertise Miley Cyrus. Whatever they could put her name on, they did. Whatever they could sell for merchandise, right down to a notepad or a pencil, they did. I know, because I saw it and I was there for it. I saw the rapid ascension of a superstar who learned so much so quickly and became a megastar overnight. And I see the same future for Freya, Skye. I've seen the same future for Kylie Cantrell. And I say that with absolute respect, but I think that there is a way to promote these stars in a way they feel more confident about themselves, where they're more confident in their ability than ever before. I don't think there was ever a moment that Kylie Cantrell should doubt herself by saying that she feels she's not good enough. There should never be a moment where Meg Donnelly should doubt herself, because I think that when you take a look at how Selena Gomez became the producer of Wizards of Waverly Place, it had everything to do with how the franchise meant so much to her heart, and she wanted to be a part of it moving forward, and she had that opportunity to be a part of the Wizards Return movie back in 2013, and she hadn't done anything with Wizards of Waverly Place up until the return of the Beyond Wizards of Waverly Place series, which I have a lot of fond things to say about, because I really do believe that Selena Gomez always wanted to have Wizards of Waverly Place have a special place in her heart, and she wanted to be a part of the project moving forward. I appreciated what they did in the very first season of that series, really bringing it back with such a powerful emphasis on kindness and how much the value of family was appreciated. And now here comes Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim with sort of the same mindset for the Zombies franchise, wanting to have everything to do with it moving forward because they see the potential in Freya Skye. Meg Donnelly is really high off Freya Skye. She thinks she's going to be a superstar, and she's got something really special happening for her, something really special in the works. So what I'm going to do, because Meg Donnelly meant so much to me and Milo Manheim meant so much to me as the character Zed and Addison, and because they meant so much to each and every one of you, is I'm going to lend my magic to the Descendants of Zombies franchise from here on out. And what that means is I'm going to get behind Freya Skye, and I'm constantly going to post videos about Freya Skye and all your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars mixed in with that. And we're going to create a bunch of videos until we convince them that everything is going to be okay, and that the love and support is here for them enough to influence them to, have enough courage to move forward and face these critics head on, because that's really what Descendants of Zombies have become victims of, is a lot of criticism that they don't need to be, victimized by, which is really to be expected, I know, because That's what's to be expected in the entertainment industry. You're going to be faced with a lot of criticism, but we can do something about that because we can outshine that criticism with great videos about people like Freya, Skye, and Kylie Control, because I think never enough prosperity can be shown to them, never enough respect can be shown to them, because a lot of people will choose to criticize Descendants of Zombies for no particular reason because they feel good about criticizing something and they want to get reactions out of people. And I totally get that. I totally understand how people want to get reactions out of everybody, and they sometimes achieve that because they make you believe things about the release date of Zombies 5 not happening until 2028. Newsflash, everybody. We don't know when Zombies 5 is going to happen. It could be happening in 2026 for all we know. They may have shot Zombies back-to-back because there's always that chance of shooting movies back-to-back like they did with Wicked. And come to think of it, my friend from Ukraine mentioned how we went to see Wicked last year, and he's saying to me, please don't take me with you, because he doesn't have a greater appreciation for musicals. I'm going to have to find somebody to go with me to Wicked, and if worse comes to worse, I'm going to have to take the local bus. But I will be going to see Wicked regardless of how he felt about it. The thing is, the reason why I mentioned my friend from Ukraine and how he felt about Wicked was the world cannot exist without diversity. And what that means is everybody feels different about Descendants of Zombies. And I think because these stars are so young, I mean, Freya Skye is 15 years old. What do you know at 15 years old? Freya Skye doesn't really understand, how far she has yet to go. She really doesn't understand the value of life and how these critics really work. And that's why she's being reduced to tears, because of how people feel about her. But then, on the other side of the coin, we have 500,000 people on YouTube who love Freya Skye so much. Just one video Freya Skye has uploaded has garnered over 1,000 plus views and 1,000 comments within an hour. So that's really cool how Freya Skye has that much of an incredible reach that she can get over 1,000 comments on a video. I wish I could get 1,000 comments on a video. I wish that more people would subscribe to this YouTube channel than ever before. Which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, as I just said, October is going to be a huge month. And I would love for you to be a part of this incredible journey that I feel like I've been on forever with you guys, dating all the way back to the premiere of the first Descendants on July 31st, 2015. Because we really experienced a lot. We've been through everything. We've laughed, we've cried together, we've shared in some of the most unforgettable moments in Descendants of Zombies history. And I've just felt so honored to be here in your guys' presence to provide you with these great videos on Descendants of Zombies. And I've shared with you some very funny stories about how I thought my next door neighbor may have been a vampire, my girlfriend was a vampire, because you can never be too sure about this kind of thing. It's a real life thing that people actually do go through. And I think that's where inspiration has come from the Disney writers and producers for Descendants of Zombies, because years ago they realized the popularity of franchises like The Vampire Diaries, and I know Freya Skye was really high on The Vampire Diaries. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Freya about The Vampire Diaries, because this guy has watched virtually every single episode of The Vampire Diaries. So Freya Skye really puts into fruition how much of an impact franchises like The Vampire Diaries and Twilight had on people years ago, because I remember how crazy everybody was about Twilight. Nobody could get enough of Twilight. All the Twilight merch they had, anything they could put the Twilight name on to sell, from t-shirts to sweaters, they did. And I remember how everybody was so crazy about it. I was able to get advance tickets to every premiere of Twilight, so I kind of hung out around Twilight, and I was a part of that era, so I knew how crazy everybody was about vampires and werewolves. It was kind of really cool. I even saw a Pictionary, I think it was a Pictionary version of Twilight, a board game. It was kind of really cool. Anything they could stick the name of Twilight on, they did. But I think there's a greater appreciation for the work ethic that vampires and werewolves and zombies and aliens even have had on our lives. So I think forever and always there will be a conversation about mermaids happening and zombies, even if it doesn't happen. I think mermaids have been in high demand. I, for one, have lived on an island all of my life with stories associated with it, with mermaids and pirates, so I think it would be really cool seeing the introduction of pirates and mermaids into this franchise, because of just how unpredictable it is and just how fun it would be to be a part of it. I think that mermaids are incredibly sweet, incredibly innocent, but sometimes they can be very mischievous and very devious sometimes, so they can present, the opportunity to see new villains introduced into this franchise. And with how big Disney villains are these days, I think that they would offer a lot of conflict and controversy that I would be very excited to be a part of. And it's a really intriguing plot. Zombies 5 presents the opportunity for a really intriguing plot, and with how popular Freya Skye's music is, I think never enough respect can be shown to her. I think that more people need to gravitate towards Freya Skye, and slowly but surely more people are becoming fans of her because she's becoming noticed. And it's because of people like us on YouTube who are always supporting her with love and support. And the thing about the Descendants of Zombies universe is they will forever and always love you. That's something I very quickly realized about Descendants of Zombies fans, is no matter what you've got going on in your life, no matter what you've got happening around you, you can always depend on Descendants of Zombies fans to pull you back to reality and to always be there for you. Because you guys took somebody that had never been seen or heard from in years and gave him a second chance to be heard. Because of you now, more people know who I am, and more people know about Descendants of Zombies, and I've become one of the most popular names to associate his voice with the Descendants of Zombies franchise. And I know there's always been something forever and always about my voice being attached to these franchises, and I think we can't go a day without a Jonathan Clarke on YouTube video popping up. So that's really cool. Everybody's watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs, sharing his thoughts and opinions on Kylie Contrell, Red and Chloe. What's going to happen next? Obviously, we're going to feel the impact of the consequences of time travel, because one can't expect to alter the fabric of time and never expect consequences and get away with it. So I think there's a lot to be expected with Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland's premiere, and I'm counting down the days like each and every one of you. I wish it was happening tonight. I wish I was watching Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland's premiere tonight, because I'm really intrigued by the Alice in Wonderland characters. I think they're offering something very special to this franchise. I think we still have a long way to go. I mean, you just can't tell a story in over 90 minutes and tell a story in one movie and expect the story to be told and completed like many people will suggest to you. Forever and always, there will be people who will suggest that, we've seen Descendants of Zombies get to a point, and that point is far enough. That will forever and always be debated. But I really believe that there is still so much more of a story to be told. Even a story with individual characters. Because we really don't know that much about Chloe Charming, do we? We don't really know that much about Red and how far she has yet to go, because she's being referred to as Princess Red now. So in present-day Wonderland, that pressure of being the Princess of Wonderland is going to be getting to her, and that could create a cool storyline too, with how the pressure kind of gets to her. And I'll have more to say on this in a third video I'll be uploading later on this afternoon, which I hope you will join me for, because we saw that happen with the Mal character. The pressure of being the Princess Voradon and Maleficent's daughter kind of got to her by Descendants 2, and she couldn't deal with it, but she came to a mutual understanding with everybody around her because she had the support of her friends, which really was a precious thing to be looking at in Descendants of Zombies, because it really put the emphasis on just how valuable a friendship is in this lifetime. Because the few friends that you have, you really don't need a whole lot of friends in this lifetime. All you need are a few really good friends. And I think Descendants of Zombies have encouraged us to really hold on to that belief and that stillment in our minds, which is something that really jumped out at me about this franchise for forever and always. And the friendships, more especially with Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, are absolutely beautiful. This friendship between Malachi Burton and Freya Skye is a friendship that I can't seem to get enough of. So you guys, at the end of the day, you guys really know what you're talking about. And you guys have put these stars in popular demand, and you've made them superstars overnight, because everybody is YouTubing them. Everybody is binging them because they love them so much. They can't never seem to get enough of Kylie Contrell, Freya Skye, Malia Baker. It's really cool how these stars have really become the focal point of Disney, and Disney really recognizes this, which is why I don't know why they'll put $5.2 million behind a Marvel podcast every Wednesday on Marvel.com, but they won't emphasize enough on Descendants of Zombies and give you guys a Descendants of Zombies podcast. I guess they've left that responsibility and distinction up to yours truly. I love creating videos, and I wish Disney would extend the opportunity to me to host a Descendants of Zombies podcast for each and every one of you. And mind you, I would love to be the writer and producer of Descendants of Zombies, because I really do believe there is so much to offer you in conversation about Descendants of Zombies. And I really do believe that the conversation can keep going on for forever and ever about Descendants of Zombies. I really do believe that this is a conversation that doesn't have to end. This story doesn't have to be over just yet. We can keep the story going for a little while longer, and we can be a part of something that's going to be history really in the making, because this is really what this is. This is history in the making, and this is something that we are all going to be a part of. And I couldn't be more excited to be here, to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies, to help you make sense of everything Descendants of Zombies, unlike other critics who just upload a mere reaction video about a music video they may have seen in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. That may upload a moment that they review. I think there's a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. There has forever and always been a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies, and I think that if you're going to show up on YouTube, the least you can do for every fan of Descendants of Zombies is talk about it in a way that it's really meaningful to everybody, because I really do believe that people have never forgot their experiences of being a Descendants of Zombies fans. These are moments that we have forever and always shared in, and these are moments that I've never felt more honored to be a part of than to talk about Descendants of Zombies in the way that it's been meant to be talked about. Honestly, I love having donuts, watching Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you. I love going to the mall and spending $700 on Apple Watches and coming home and telling you stories about it. As crazy as those stories may seem to be to a lot of people. It makes these videos have a greater appreciation because we have Halloween coming up this month. We have the countdown to Halloween, and I think that a lot of people are really getting into these videos, and it shows. People are getting really hooked on these videos, and YouTube suggests that to me all the time, convincing me to give you guys what you want. And I really do love uploading these videos because it really shows a greater appreciation coming from all of you about Descendants of Zombies. You guys just want to watch Descendants of Zombies videos, and I have never felt more honored to be in your guys' presence to provide you with the content that you wanted. I've always wanted an honor bestowed upon me, and I guess my calling was to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies. And if you ask me, I think we were meant to meet. I really do, because Descendants of Zombies fans are the most incredibly loyal fans in the world. I wouldn't ask for a better audience or a bigger global audience to provide videos for and have so much of a reach, because I never thought my videos would have 100 views, much less thousands of views per video that I'm uploading about Descendants of Zombies. This really has become the greatest honor of my life, and it's the most fun that I've ever had in my entire existence as a blogger. So guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. I will be back later on this afternoon with a third video, and we'll talk more about the original cast. We'll talk more about the future of Descendants of Zombies, because we have this huge premiere of Descendants 5 with Wonder Run happening in July of 2026. That's less than a year away. I think it's something like 9 months before Descendants 5 happens, but I have a lot of conversation and a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes. So that's what's happening. That's what's going down on this YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, if you are a fan of Freya Skye, I think you're going to want to subscribe here, because I love her music. I love everything about her, and I want to show her the respect she deserves, which she's deserved for a very long time. I've got a movie premiere to attend tomorrow, Tron Ares, so I'll keep you updated on that. And we've got a countdown to Halloween happening. Everybody's excited about Halloween season, so let's keep the conversation going for just a little while longer as we stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future.